only on 12. A scheme using stolen debit card numbers to pay We Energy's bills has hit several local communities, and police are trying to track down the suspects. WISN 12 News' Nick Bohr talks with the bank that has more than a half dozen customers victimized.
You might assume your checking account is protected by the latest technology. Banks constantly promote new security features, biometric logins, and digital alerts to make you feel safe. However, the reality of financial security in the year 2026 is vastly different. As banking technology advances, the criminals who exploit it evolve at a much faster pace. They no longer rely on clumsy physical theft. They use artificial intelligence, advanced material science, and predictive algorithms to access your money. Today, we are counting down the 10 debit card scams currently draining accounts across the country in 2026. Watch until number 1, because it involves a mathematical process that bypasses your physical card entirely. Let us begin. Number 10. The Artificial Intelligence Voice Clone Emergency. In previous years, scammers relied on generic text messages to impersonate your family members. In 2026, they use your family member's actual voice. Cybercriminals harvest short audio clips from social media videos, voicemail greetings, or professional networking profiles. They feed these brief audio samples into advanced artificial intelligence software. The software generates a realistic voice clone that mimics the tone, pitch, and cadence of the target person.
11 Labs, choose instant voice cloning, then add the audio. The last thing you have to do is just type in whatever you wanted to say, and there you go.
Your phone rings late at night. The caller ID might appear unknown, or the scammer might spoof the phone number to match your relative. You answer, and you hear the voice of your child or grandchild. The cloned voice sounds distressed. They claim they are stranded at a mechanic shop, involved in a minor accident, or facing a medical emergency while traveling. They tell you they lost their wallet and desperately need you to read your 16-digit debit card number, expiration date, and security code over the phone so they can pay a tow truck driver or a hospital administrator. A 62-year-old retired teacher named Linda received a call from a voice that sounded exactly like her grandson. The voice begged for her debit card details to pay for a rental car after a breakdown. She read the numbers aloud. By the time she realized the deception and called her actual grandson, the scammers had processed $3,000 in international money transfers using her debit card data. To prevent this, families must establish a secret verification word. If someone calls claiming an emergency and asks for financial information, you must ask for the verification word before providing any details. While voice cloning manipulates human emotion, the next scam on our list targets the physical infrastructure of your daily commute. Number 9. The high-density transit relay public transportation hubs have modernized significantly by 2026. Commuters rely on tap-to-pay terminals to board trains and buses quickly. You stand in a dense crowd waiting to pass through a subway turnstile. Your debit card or smartphone rests in your pocket, emitting a standard, near-field communication signal. A criminal walks through the same crowd carrying a modified briefcase. The briefcase contains a specialized signal repeater. The criminal brushes past you. The repeater captures the signal from your debit card. However, the criminal does not process a transaction locally. Instead, the repeater transmits your card signal over a high-speed cellular network to a partner standing inside a retail store miles away. The partner holds their smartphone near the payment terminal at the checkout counter. The terminal registers the relayed signal from your pocket. You board your train. Meanwhile, the store terminal processes a transaction for high-value merchandise using your card data. A 35-year-old architect named David noticed a charge for $400 from an electronics retailer on his banking application. At the exact time of the transaction, he was standing on a crowded train platform. The bank initially rejected his fraud dispute. The transaction data showed the physical card was present and tapped at the terminal, making it difficult to prove a crime occurred. To defend against transit relays, you should disable the tap-to-pay function on your digital wallet when you are not actively making a purchase, or keep physical cards inside shielded sleeves. Signal relays steal your data in public, but number 8 uses deceptive text messages to compromise the device you hold in your hand. Number 8. The mandatory banking application. Update banks frequently update their mobile applications to patch vulnerabilities and introduce new features. Scammers use this routine process to trick you into downloading malware. You receive a text message that appears to originate from your bank. The message warns you that your current mobile banking application is obsolete and no longer compliant with 2026 security regulations. The text provides a link to download the mandatory update. It warns that failure to update will result in a temporary account suspension. You click the link to avoid losing access to your funds. The link directs you to a web page that perfectly mirrors your bank's official site. You click the download button. The file installs on your smartphone. You did not download a banking update. You installed a remote access Trojan designed to operate invisibly in the background. The next time you open your genuine banking application and type your credentials, the Trojan records your keystrokes. It captures your username, your password, and your personal identification number.
The Anatsa Trojan is a nasty piece of malware targeting Android devices. Anatsa is a type of malware called a banking Trojan. Its primary purpose is to steal your financial information.
The malware then hides incoming verification text messages from your bank. The scammers use your stolen credentials to log into your account from their own device. When the bank sends a verification code to your phone, the Trojan intercepts the code, forwards it to the scammers, and deletes the message from your screen before you ever see it. A 42-year-old nurse named Sarah lost $8,000 to an unauthorized wire transfer. She never saw the verification text because the malware suppressed the notification and forwarded the code to the attackers. You should never download application updates from a link provided in a text message. Always navigate directly to the official application store on your device to manage software updates. Malware hides inside fake updates, but number 7 exploits the facial recognition features you use to unlock your devices. Number 7. The biometric hash theft. In 2026, many consumers use biometric authentication to approve debit card purchases on their smartphones. You look at the screen, the camera scans your face, and the payment clears. Scammers have developed methods to steal the underlying data associated with your facial features. You browse an application store and download a new utility program. It might present itself as a fitness tracker, an artificial intelligence photo editor, or a virtual try-on application for eyeglasses. When you open the application, it prompts you to complete a facial scan to calibrate the software. It asks you to look at the camera and slowly turn your head. You comply, assuming the application requires the scan to function. The software captures a high-resolution map of your face. It generates a biometric hash, which is the mathematical representation of your physical features. The developers behind the application harvest this biometric data. They combine it with debit card numbers purchased from data breaches. Using specialized emulators, the criminals inject your stolen biometric hash into a digital wallet authorization request. The payment network receives the request. Because the biometric hash matches the profile on record, the network assumes you are holding the device and looking at the camera. The network approves the debit card transaction. A 28-year-old designer named Kevin noticed unauthorized charges on his debit card. His bank insisted the charges were legitimate because they were authorized by a facial recognition scan matching his profile. He later discovered that a free photo editing application he downloaded was a front for a biometric harvesting operation. You should exercise extreme caution when granting applications permission to access your camera or scan your face.
Everything started with your fingerprint. Then they came for your face. And now they want your eyes. What is Apple, Google, Meta, and all of the other big tech companies doing with all of your biometric information that defines who you are?
Only trust biometric requests from established, verified developers. Biometric theft targets your physical identity, but number 6 uses the complex world of cryptocurrency to drain traditional checking accounts. Number 6. The decentralized finance bridge exploit. The line between traditional banking and cryptocurrency has blurred by 2026. Many banks now offer features to link your debit card directly to digital asset platforms. Scammers exploit this integration to steal your traditional fiat currency. You see an advertisement online promoting a high-yield savings program or a new investment opportunity. The platform promises a steady return on your money.
Today, every transaction you make is part of our current financial system. Whether you Venmoed your friend for drinks last night or you invest.
You visit the website, it looks secure and features endorsements from supposed financial experts. The platform prompts you to link your debit card to fund your new investment account. You type your card number, expiration date, and security code into the portal. You then click a button to authorize a smart contract, assuming it will facilitate the transfer of a small initial deposit. The website is a fraudulent, decentralized application. When you click the authorization button, you unknowingly grant the smart contract unlimited permission to pull funds from your linked debit card. The smart contract immediately executes a series of maximum allowable transactions. It drains the cash from your checking account, converts it into an obscure cryptocurrency, and transfers the digital assets to an unhosted wallet controlled by the scammers. A 50-year-old manager named Robert intended to invest $500 in a new platform. The smart contract utilized his linked debit card to execute 10 consecutive transfers of $500 in a single minute. By the time he received the fraud alerts from his bank, the funds were converted to digital tokens and moved beyond the reach of traditional banking recovery methods. You should treat any platform requesting debit card linkage with high skepticism. Never approve smart contracts or funding requests on unfamiliar decentralized finance websites. Smart contracts use code to steal your money, but number 5 uses live video manipulation to trick you into revealing your card. Number 5. The artificial intelligence video support impersonation customer service has shifted heavily toward video calls in 2026. Many financial institutions offer live video chats within their applications to resolve account issues. Scammers use real-time deepfake technology to hijack this process. You receive an email that appears to come from your bank's fraud department. The email states your account is temporarily restricted due to suspicious activity. It instructs you to click a link to initiate a secure video call with a security agent to lift the restriction. You click the link. A video window opens in your browser. You see a person wearing a professional suit, sitting in an office with the bank's logo visible on the wall behind them. The person speaks to you, addressing you by name. They sound professional and courteous. They explain they need to verify your physical possession of the debit card to remove the security lock. They ask you to hold your debit card up to your webcam so they can read the numbers. You hold the card up to the lens. The agent thanks you, tells you the account is verified, and ends the call. The person on the screen was not a bank employee. The scammer used real-time deepfake software to map a professional appearance over their own face. They generated the office background using artificial intelligence. When you held your card to the camera, the scammer captured a high-resolution screenshot. They now possess your card number, expiration date, and your name is printed on the plastic. A 60-year-old retired pilot named Thomas held his card to the camera during a fake support call. The scammers used the high-definition image to process a $2,000 purchase on a luxury goods website. You should never display your physical payment cards on a video call, even if the person on the screen appears legitimate. Banks do not require visual verification of your card to resolve account issues. Video impersonation tricks you visually, but number 4 relies on automated software to defeat your text message security. Number 4. The carrier exploitation password bot. Two-factor authentication relies heavily on text messages containing one-time passwords. Scammers have developed automated systems to intercept these passwords using the telecommunications network itself. In 2026, scammers do not always need to trick you into reading a code over the phone. They exploit vulnerabilities in the carrier routing protocols. The scammer obtains your debit card number and your login credentials from a dark web marketplace. They attempt to log into your banking portal to initiate a transfer. The bank sends a text message containing a 6-digit code to your phone number to verify the login attempt. Simultaneously, the scammer deploys an automated bot that interacts with the signaling system used by cellular carriers. The bot requests a temporary reroute of the text messages destined for your phone number. The carrier network, assuming the request is a legitimate routing update from a roaming partner, diverts the incoming text message. The message containing the bank code travels to a virtual phone number controlled by the scammer. Your phone remains silent. You never receive a notification. The automated bot reads the code from the diverted text message and inputs it into the bank's website in a matter of seconds. The bank verifies the code and grants access to the account. A 45-year-old accountant named Patricia checked her balance and discovered $4,000 missing. She possessed her phone the entire time and never received a single verification code or fraud alert. The scammers used carrier exploitation to divert the security messages and process the transactions invisibly. To protect your account from message diversion, you must transition away from text-based verification. You should configure your banking applications to use hardware security keys or dedicated authenticator applications that generate codes locally on your device without relying on cellular networks. Carrier exploitation targets the network, but number 3 represents an evolution in physical hardware designed to steal your data at the retail counter. Number 3. The Graphene micro-shimmer. For years, consumers looked for bulky card skimmers attached to automated teller machines and gas pumps. When criminals moved to internal shimmers, they used thin plastic circuit boards. In 2026, scammers use material science to render their devices virtually undetectable. They manufacture shimmers using graphene. Graphene is a material consisting of a single layer of carbon atoms. It is exceptionally strong, highly conductive, and thinner than a human hair. criminals print microscopic circuitry onto small strips of graphene. They use a specialized tool to insert this invisible strip directly into the card slot of a retail payment terminal. The graphene shimmer adheres to the internal contacts of the card reader. It is so thin that it does not disrupt the insertion of a physical debit card. When you insert your card into a compromised terminal at a convenience store or a pharmacy, the graphene circuit sits between your card's microchip and the machine's reader. It intercepts the data transfer. It extracts the raw account information necessary to clone the magnetic stripe. Because graphene is highly conductive, the shimmer uses the electrical current from the terminal itself to power a microscopic transmitter. It sends the captured data to a receiver hidden nearby. A 30-year-old mechanic named Mark used his debit card at a local market. A technician later discovered a graphene shimmer inside the terminal during routine maintenance. Before the discovery, the scammers captured Mark's data and created a cloned card to withdraw cash from a distant automated teller machine. Physical inspection of a card reader cannot detect a graphene shimmer. The only reliable defense is to stop inserting physical cards into retail machines. You should rely entirely on the secure, tokenized, contactless payment systems built into your mobile device. Advanced materials compromise traditional terminals, but number 2 targets the newest technology found in modern supermarkets. Number 2. The Smart Cart Tablet. Compromise grocery shopping in 2026 features advanced smart carts. These shopping carts possess built-in touchscreen tablets and barcode scanners. You place your items in the cart, scan the barcodes, and the tablet tallies your total. When you finish shopping, you pay directly on the cart's tablet using an integrated card reader or a digital interface. Scammers target these unattended smart carts to steal debit card information. A criminal walks into a supermarket and selects a smart card. They do not intend to shop. They connect a discrete universal serial bus drive to a hidden diagnostic port on the back of the tablet display. The drive executes a script that installs data logging malware onto the cart's operating system. The criminal then abandons the cart in the store and leaves. Later that day, you select the compromised cart. You complete your shopping and prepare to pay. You swipe your debit card or type your card details into the tablet screen. The malware records your payment information before the cart encrypts the data to send it to the store's processing server. The malware then transmits your card details over the store's public wireless network to the scammer. A 55-year-old mother named Susan lost $600 after using a smart card at a major grocery chain. The scammers extracted her debit card data from the compromised tablet and used it to purchase digital gift cards online. Supermarkets struggle to secure these carts because they sit unattended in public spaces for hours. To avoid this risk, you should avoid paying directly on smart cart tablets. You should use the cart to tally your items, but complete the final payment transaction at a traditional supervised checkout register or a central self-checkout kiosk. Smart carts present a physical risk, but the final scam on our list requires no physical interaction, no malware, and no mistakes on your part. It relies entirely on mathematics. Number 1. The quantum brute force algorithm. The fundamental flaw in the debit card system is that card numbers are predictable. Banks issue card numbers in sequential batches. They adhere to specific mathematical formulas. In the past, scammers used basic software to guess these numbers, a process that took significant time and resources. In 2026, organized cybercriminal syndicates utilize immense computing power, drawing on early-stage quantum computing principles and advanced machine learning models. They use these resources to execute predictive brute force attacks on the payment network. The criminal selects a known bank identification number. This 6-digit number identifies a specific bank. They feed this number into their algorithmic model. The model generates millions of complete, mathematically valid 16-digit card numbers in fractions of a second. The algorithm does not stop there. It simultaneously predicts the corresponding expiration dates and the 3-digit security codes based on the issuance patterns of that specific bank. The scammers deploy massive networks of compromised servers to test these complete datasets against low-security merchant payment gateways. They test thousands of combinations per minute. When the algorithm correctly predicts your active card number, your specific expiration date, and your precise security code, the test transaction approves. The scammers now possess your complete debit card profile without ever interacting with you, your phone, or a physical payment terminal. They immediately route the verified card details to automated purchasing bots. The bots buy high-value goods across multiple retail websites before the bank's fraud systems detect the anomaly. A major financial institution experienced a localized crisis when predictive algorithms correctly identified and compromised thousands of active debit cards in a single weekend. Customers reported unauthorized charges despite maintaining perfect physical security over their plastic cards. The attack bypassed all user-end security measures because it exploited the predictable mathematics of the issuance system. You cannot stop a computer from guessing your account number. Your only defense against predictive algorithms is rapid detection and strict account management. You must configure your banking application to send instant push notifications for every transaction, regardless of the amount. Furthermore, you should maintain a low balance in your primary checking account linked to your debit card. You should keep the majority of your funds in a separate, unlinked savings account, transferring money only when you need to cover specific expenses. The financial landscape of 2026 relies on speed and digital integration. As convenience increases, the methods of theft become more abstract and difficult to detect. Physical security is no longer sufficient. Criminals target the networks, the algorithms, and the biometric markers that define your digital identity. By understanding how these 10 advanced scams operate, you improve your ability to protect your assets. You must remain skeptical of unsolicited communications, minimize your use of physical cards, and rely on secure, hardware-based authentication. Awareness remains your most effective shield against the invisible threats operating within the modern financial system. If you have experienced unauthorized transactions or noticed unusual activity associated with your accounts, leave a comment describing the situation. Sharing information helps the community recognize emerging patterns and avoid sophisticated traps. If this detailed examination helped clarify the risks present in the modern banking environment, like this video and subscribe to our channel. We will continue to monitor technological advancements, dissect criminal methodologies, and provide the information you need to maintain your financial security. Stay cautious, monitor your notifications, and click on the next video coming up on your screen. I'll catch you there.